Welcome to my channel. I'm Dr. Romano. In today's video we are going to be discussing gold prices and as to why they have not gone up. Before we continue the video, please remember to do thumbs up. It's right there. Just click it to say thank you. Thank you so much. The stock market has an inverse relationship with gold prices, particularly commodities, but I'm going to talk about gold. Because silver isn't as much as gold, and if you need to buy silver as well as gold, you're going to have to buy a lot of silver and it's very heavy. So it's better to actually just buy the gold coins. Now for those people who are wondering what do you do with gold bullion if the government will confiscate that gold bullion, there's been talk about, there's a couple of things right now that is happening, okay? First, we have a stock market crash since December 31st of 2021, and it seems to continue to go down, and it's a beautiful train wreck from the beginning of the year. And this year, I guess, was not going to be a typical stock market crash where it just crashes over 1 or 2 days. A lot of people were prepared ahead of time for what was going to happen, and a lot of companies have been preparing for the uncertainty of the markets, particularly after you have a pandemic. If our stock market is been going down, shouldn't gold prices go up? And the fact is, it really hasn't gone up, and it's been really frustrating for those people who understand the history, because there is an inverse relationship with the commodities market and the stock market. And so investors will take their profits out of the stock market and they'll push it over to the commodities market and expect to make a return on that as well. And those investors that have 20% in gold and 70% in the stock market and other investments, when the stock market goes down, it's okay because they're going to make money on the gold prices that go up. But this time around, there's something wrong. What I'm seeing in the charts is very, very, very weird. It's almost like someone with a lot of capital is selling their gold reserves, and other people are buying it because they see that it's going down. It just doesn't make sense. But once you realize what's happening now and you understand what's happening in the media, for example, we have manufacturing coming back to America, and it's creating an unstable environment in the world because globalization caused a disaster in America. They gutted our manufacturing. And so for those countries who are now being affected, particularly Asia, things are becoming off balance in their society. Next, you have a big issue. You have the war with Ukraine and the war that's coming up soon. That's also playing a role in gold prices. That should also say that gold prices should go up, but they're not. Now let's look at cryptocurrency, because that's going to play a major role in gold prices. Whenever something comes about in our government, those people who are connected to the government, they always know what's going to happen and they prepare ahead of time. And you'll see that in the actual data, the commodities market, the stock market, etc. So if it's true that the government is going to come out with their own digital currency, then how would that affect gold prices in the commodities market? Also, how would it affect the value of the dollar? Is it on purpose that they're making the dollar go up compared to other currencies? Was it done on purpose 25 years ago to make the real estate market to go through the roof? It wasn't just because of industry and growth in the economy. It was because of a government initiative with Bill Clinton. He said everyone was going to own their own house and go to college if they voted for him. And they did vote for him because he won. And so now we have a gigantic student loan issue because of the banks being allowed to lend to students unlimitedly. which caused universities to keep raising their prices for 25 years. Then you had the housing issue. It kept doubling every 5 years or so. Now, if you want to fix inflation, you would have started it back then by increasing interest rates, but they didn't care about it because that wasn't the program. Then, somehow, after the first economic collapse, they continued to allow the housing prices to skyrocket. And what was very interesting, so did the world. UK started it, Europe started it, I remember Italy, the prices, everything. So you have to also understand global economics to understand what's happening in our country. Because since we are a world leader, it always happens in our country first. We're the first to initiate it, we're the first to start it, and we're the first to end it. It's amazing how it is to be a global power. So now they have so much in circulation in our currency that if they do come up with a digital currency, would they back it by commodities in some way? I'm sure it's not going to be one-on-one, but a certain percentage of that digital currency may be backed by the commodities market. But you have to remember, in history, when this happened in the past, when the government backed their currency by gold and silver, they backed their currency by the commodities. What did the government do to the gold bullion and the silver bullion? They had to confiscate it because there was not enough gold to go around to have the public have gold bullion and the governments to have gold bullion. So they passed laws that stated that they have the authority to confiscate your gold bullion. Of course, they offered you market rate for it. But what was that market rate? Was it intentionally lowered when they were about to do it? It's another question. For those of you who have an enormous amount of gold bullion because you're a portfolio manager, somehow you have to get rid of that gold bullion. Remember, our gold coins are a form of currency. And so that's my take on the commodities market. Because we have a digital currency that's going to come out by the government, they'll probably have to back it by gold. People who own gold reserves in bullion, they're selling their gold right now, their bullion, not their coins, their bullion, because they're not sure what's going to happen and they don't want to get ripped off with having to deal with a lower price. And so that's my take as to why gold prices have not gone through the roof. Because we're having a stock market collapse, that's definitely an apparent collapse over the past 10 months. And when you have that type of collapse, you have the commodities prices go through the roof. But because we have a digital currency that's coming about, people are afraid that know what's going on and they're dumping their gold bullion. You also have to remember that what if other countries are doing the same thing? Would that lower the cost of gold? If those country leaders know that their country is also going to back their digital currency by gold? But then you have to look in the other perspective, in the other direction. The government is not going to allow gold prices to go down to $600. They're not going to allow that because the currency has to be worth something. They're probably also buying gold. As certain people sell the gold bullion, they're coming in and buying the gold up. And of course, once the digital dollar will be backed by gold, we're just using this as an example. I don't know anyone from the government. I'm just making an example of what is really going on based on what I see on the charts. And so I want to thank you so much for watching my video. Please remember to subscribe if you like my channel, my content, and please do thumbs up. It's right there. It doesn't bite to click that button to say thank you.